Can't find where the driveline goes in my Tesla. All right. Wow, those two guys laugh at me back here. And Danny, where's your broom? Get your broom. So we're putting a brand new rear end in the car. We just re-geared this to a 524. That means 5.24 to 1. So for every one rotation of the wheels, it'll be 5.24 for the pinion. So this is the ring gear. That's the pinion gear down inside. Driveline run into the back of this. For those of you that don't really know cars, I'm trying to explain this. So that's for the rear end. And then the new thing in this car is our 3-speed EV3 transmission, this guy right here. So now we're able to shift from first to second to third. Before, this car only had one gear. So basically, it's like a bicycle. Like a beach cruiser has one gear up front, one gear in back. That's it. A mountain bike, it's got multiple gears. And that's what this lets you do, is switch gears. Usually, electric engines or motors don't have gears. Ours does now. It gives us a wider envelope of what we could do. It's like riding that beach cruiser. You hit a hill and you're like, oh, this is getting tiring. Cruising's fine, but once you go real fast and your legs are kind of spinning out of control, that lets us kind of mitigate the same thing here too. Electric motors develop torque to a certain point and that torque falls off. So before the torque falls off, we want to be able to shift into the next gear. So that's what this thing's going to do. Got our driveline. We're going to have this whole thing assembled in a few minutes, right, Snow? In. Get in here, man. So this is the third member of the car. Also, there's some gears back here. They don't change or switch. We have to do that manually. So what we try to do is figure out the best gear ratio for our application. You got that?
Yep. We're good to go.
He's done this a few times.
Maybe once or twice.
I think we re-geared this car like 3-4 times already. Because we keep trying different things. There we go. We're going to keep fidgeting with this thing, but basically we're just re-gearing the rear end to match what we have up front. Now we're going to be starting out a much lower gear. So I think we calculated about a 12, almost 13 to 1, Maddie?
I think it was something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty low. Teslas are usually 9.75 for their final drive. We're going to be up in the mid 12 somewhere. So first gear is going to feel like a tractor pulling. That's what we want. Jump into second. Also, a standard like Model S Tesla with this type of motor in it, it tends to fall off around 60, 70 miles an hour. It just doesn't pull like we would like it to because it's past its torque curve. We want to be able to shift gears and keep that torque curve delivering and keep running it down the track. We got too much fun around here. All right, the boys reinstalled the rear end, so the pumpkin's back in, the third member. Is that correct?
Third member.
Gotcha. Technicality is here. So we got now this 5.24 to 1 gear set in the back of this 4.9-inch rear end. Put the wheels back on it. Next thing is I got to get the driveline in, but before that, I got to get this transmission mounted up. So we get the new driveline. This one is slightly shorter than our last one. So that's going to take a little bit of work and massaging. But once this is all in, I figure out the cross member. We'll get a measurement in, send it to you guys over at Oceanside Driveline, and finally be able to drive this thing. So here we have our brand new gearbox. This is the one from 6XD. Needed to build a cross member section to go in the Mustang. So we're utilizing our original motor mounts that we have for our main motor, and those are going to bolt up into the car itself. And then I designed these little cross members to support the bottom of the actual transmission. So send these off to the printer. My printer is not that big, so I cut them up to 4 pieces here. Let's go check it out. So gonna get those running, print it out so we can test them, and then we're gonna send them over to AVS Fabricating because he's got a pretty cool laser over there. It cost $1 bazillion. So calibrating the printer, gotta get it going there, and let's see what we got going underneath the car. So this could be made out of 1/4-inch steel. Therefore, we got a lot of, beef on the back. Most of the torque of the motor is supported by the front, so we don't have to really worry about too much torque load on the back of the car. So what we have here is our 6XD gearbox. We got our motor mounts, the bushings to isolate some of the harmonics. So that's going to help there. And these are adjustable, slide it back and forth. And that piece that you just saw in Fusion will go right underneath here, capture this, support the bottom. We'll weld it all up and TIG it. As soon as I know those fit from the 3D printer, it's kind of what I do here is print it, fit it, make sure everything's okay, and then send it over to get cut out of metal. So we're here today at Oceanside Driveline. These guys have been really good to us over the years, helped us with a bunch of different projects. I literally gave them the measurements for the Mustang yesterday. It hasn't even been 24 hours yet. I got a phone call like 2 hours ago. Your driveline's ready. These guys rock. So take a look. What's up, buddy?
Grapping.
Jeff, how you been?
Yeah, man. He's okay.
All right. Yeah, I was just telling these guys, it's been not even 24 hours. We gave you the measurements yesterday.
Yeah, we're like lens crafters. We're about an hour, so.
That's so awesome. I hope I didn't give you bad measurements. So
No.
let's
Come on in. Let's go take a look at it.
All right.
So,
Ooh, carbon.
yeah, Mercedes there.
Ooh.
This is just kind of bunch of batch of stuff that we did this week. This is a refurbished from King of the Hammers. Looks like it came in like a pig's ear. We made a silk purse out of it. So
I was gonna say that if you can look like a pretzel,
that's
didn't it?
another King of the Hammer redo.
Nice.
This one is your beauty right here.
Here we go. Check it out. Woo-hoo. Nice.
Yeah,
It's actually, what is this, 3-inch?
it's a 3-inch 083.
Awesome. So I got more room than my old 4-inch. So this is gonna be perfect.
Perfect.
So stoked on this.
Yeah, we want to turn those out. You know, we try to turn stuff out within 24 hours. So.
That's awesome, especially like
Rain not last
pick all-
day, if not the next.
Yeah, I gave you guys plenty of warning because I'm going to a show on Friday of next week. I'm like, what if I get a measurement wrong or something else? But I mean, less than 24 hours, we got a brand new driveline. These guys are absolutely awesome, dude. Thank you so much, Jack.
No
You
problem,
rock, man.
You just gotta move.
All right, let's pay the piper. Let's go install this in the Mustang. Make sure it fits. It was warm today. Can't find where the driveline goes in my Tesla. Got my new driveline. Go stick it head off. A lot heavier than the carbon one. Kept the prices a lot nicer. Let's stick this guy in, see how we're doing.
So we have a match.
Awesome. U-joint or U-bolts. Stick it in. We got about an inch of play in there. That's what you want, because when the rear end of the car goes up and down, the driveline is going to plunge in and out of the actual transmission. So we get about an inch. Now we can get it on the U-bolts as well. We got a little bit of play there. Looks like it's perfect. First time's a charm. Doesn't always work out that way, but today it did, and we're happy to have like Oceanside Driveline just literally down the street, because we've done this a couple times and there was an oops, run down there, they cut it, lengthen it, or whatever we need to do, and this is perfect. Awesome. Next thing, let's get the cross members in, which are on the printer. I'm gonna go grab those. That's the action, dude.
Yeah. Action.
So, 3D printed parts are ready. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. I had to split them up because we don't have a giant printer, but we'll put them together to make sure these things match before we send them over to Al over at AVS to laser cut. So this one goes here, so it clears the oil pump. This will all be one piece when I'm done. Like I said, for now we had to split it up because my printer's too small. And they should mate up right there in the middle perfectly. Okay, so my measurements were good. That looks like it's going to work there. Perfect. So that's how that's going to look when we're done. And get some bolts on this real quick. So this is just for mock-up to make sure that all my measurements came out correctly. As they say, measure twice, cut once, right? Here we measure like 10 times and cut once. So I started this process this morning, mocked it all up, put a little test print on it to make sure I had my center to centers right, because this is a very crucial measurement between the sides, because I can't make it smaller. I can move it back and forth, but I can't do this. So that's very important that we get that measurement right the first time. So now we got these things snugged up. When it's all done, I'll have a plate. We'll TIG that right into this piece right here. So it'll support the bottom of the transmission. There's gonna be some internal plates. These are just basically front and rear plates. They're all gonna be at a 1/4" steel. They are on rubber bushings, so we have some urethane here to keep kind of the harmonic vibrations out of the car. You always kind of want to do that, because when you start bolting stuff straight to the chassis, it gets very loud and very uncomfortable to drive. It's also not great on components because of all that harmonic vibrations just going in the chassis. So let's put our rubber isolators on everything. I think this looks good, Dan. Next step, let's go back to the computer, get this file off to Al over at AVS, and go watch the magic happen on the big giant laser. So that looks like what's underneath the car. We got all that set. That's ready to go. And now I'm going to go ahead and clean these all up. So we open up our sketches here. Make sure there's nothing weird going on. No extra lines, because I got to send this to our laser guy. So what we do is we just come in here to our sketches and we create, there's something weird in there. I got this little line right here I don't need. There we go. Perfect. So now we're going to kick this out to a DXF file. That's what most of the water jet or laser guys need on hand. So this is the rear. Okay, so that's all done. All right, all I got to do now is make the underneath and the tube top parts, and we're gonna go check out how this whole process finishes up on the laser. So I designed this cross member this morning. We 3D printed it, tested it on the car. I just sent the files over to Al over at AVS. He's literally right down the street from us. Got a really cool toy, giant laser. He's gonna go cut this thing out for us right now so we can weld it tonight and get it installed in the car. That's pretty quick. Still warm, hot off the press. Awesome. So look at that. I got my whole cross member assembly here. All the parts I needed. 2 of the side brackets, the bottom bracket, and the front and rear cross member mounts. Al, thank you. We're in and out in 20 minutes.
I appreciate that.
Send me a bill.
Appreciate it.
Guys, AVS Fabrication. These guys rock.
Up to 1 inch we can cut.
We go test fit these on the car. I'm pretty sure they're going to fit, but then again, you never know. And then once they're fitted, I'll tack weld them together, pull them down, finish off the welding, clean them up, paint them, and install them in the car. This all happened in less than 6 hours. Let's see if it fits. Dead nuts. See, that's why you measure not once, not twice, but like 4 or 5 times. I think I measured it center and centers. And look at that. Fits like a glove perfectly. So that's the front plate. This is going to be the rear plate. This is the one I'm a little concerned about.
Oh, you didn't even have to drill the holes to like 3 times the size.
Nope.
That's pretty good.
They're dead on.
That is dead on, huh?
Dead on, yeah. That rags
I think that way. Yeah, that's just off the transmission height.
And that, you clip rid of that rag real quick. There we go. That rag's binding on me. Perfect. Look at that. Perfect.
Pretty slick.
Some washers on there. Yeah, I know these aren't grade 8 bolts. Don't worry. These are just for mock-up. Everyone's going to freak out on the internet. Oh, look at, he's using the Home Depot bolts to put in a cross member. We'll put some nice ones in there. Don't worry. Everyone cool your jets. All right. Look at that. Perfect.
Pretty slick. And then a plate across the bottom.
Yep, got it right here.
Ah, there you go.
Just a little bit more, and then yeah, we'll just put a couple tacks in there. We have a shorter one of these?
No, we have an angle grinder.
Yes, we do. That's it. So there's our motor mounts, man. All in a day's work.
Not bad.
They don't look bad either.
No.
They look pretty good.
It fits the rest of the car.
Yeah. A nice little cross member in there. I've had a crappy week. I did more today than I have all week. So we have everything mocked up in here. I'm so glad everything fit perfectly, like a glove. I got to clean all this stuff up, get it all TIG welded together, painted, back inside the car. We got to put the new motor in here because this is a mock-up motor that we use. Hey, like, subscribe to our channel. Check out AVS Motorsports on YouTube. Al does a phenomenal job. You guys will love his channel. He builds just some of the most pristine vehicles on the planet. I'll catch you guys soon when this is back and ready on the floor. We would like to thank all the little people that make this job possible. Big steady boy.